You know how it is, you're looking for that edge, maybe some sustained focus energy to get through the day, right?
Yeah.
And you're just hit with this tidal wave of options, everything promising the world.
Absolutely. It's overwhelming.
So how do you, cut through all that noise, figure out what actually works without, the jitters or that awful crash later?
Well, that's exactly what we're trying to unpack today in this deep dive.
Okay.
We've been looking closely at Rejuveniix. It's a partner.co product designed specifically for natural energy and mental clarity.
The Hartner.co, right?
Yeah. So our goal here is really to dig into the ingredients, look at the science, the traditional uses behind them, and see if it genuinely delivers on that promise.
Yeah.
A clean, effective boost without all those negatives we often run into.
Okay, so let's start with maybe the big question. Why even look for an alternative? I mean, energy drinks are everywhere. Coffee's a staple, sugary sodas.
Right. They're easy to grab.
But our sources, they seem to raise some pretty serious flags about those conventional options.
Yeah, definitely. What keeps coming up is this worry about what's actually in a lot of these things.
It's like what?
Well, you see mentions of artificial stuff, synthetic colors, flavors. Then there's the often really high sugar content
Yeah.
and the type of caffeine too often synthetic.
And it's not just vague, oh, it might be bad worries, is it? One source mentioned a stat that really jumped out at me.
Which one was that?
A 1,000% increase in emergency room visits linked to energy drinks between 2005 and 2009. 1,000%.
Wow. Yeah, that's staggering. It really makes you pause and think about the impact, doesn't it?
It really does.
Exactly. And the sources suggest these, traditional quick fixes can put a real strain on our systems.
How so?
Potential links to things like heart rhythm issues and, of course, those famous jitters.
Oh, the worst.
Followed by that horrible energy crash that just leaves you feeling worse off than when you started.
Totally. Okay, so that kind of sets the stage for where Rejuveniix from partner.co fits in. It's positioned as a response to this minefield, as one source put it.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Aiming to be, and this is a quote, a clean, healthy alternative.
So what's their strategy? How does it work differently?
Well, a really core idea behind Rejuveniix is synergy.
Synergy, okay.
Think of it like an orchestra. Each instrument is great on its own, right?
Sure.
But when they play together in harmony, the music is just so much richer, more powerful.
Okay, I get that analogy.
And there's actually science backing this up in nutrition, too. A report from the U.S. National Library of Medicine highlighted how the health benefits we get from fruits and vegetables often come from the combined amplified effects of all the different phytochemicals working together, not just one isolated compound.
So it's not just piling up good ingredients, it's how they interact, how they boost each other.
Precisely.
Yeah.
That's the goal. And the synergistic thinking applies to antioxidants, too. Well, the current understanding is leaning towards getting a diverse range of antioxidants, maybe in smaller amounts, but from multiple sources. That seems to be more effective than just, say, megadosing one single type.
Why is that?
Because different antioxidants target different kinds of free radicals, and they work in different parts of your body. So variety gives you broader protection.
Okay, that makes sense. And Rejuveniix seems to really lean into this with its blend of superfruits. Let's maybe unpack some of those. Açaí berry, that one comes up a lot.
Oh, yeah. Açaí is fascinating. It has really deep roots in traditional Amazonian culture.
Right.
For centuries, it's been a staple food there.
Yeah.
Used for promoting overall health, energy, vitality. They actually call the Açaí palm the tree of life locally.
The tree of life. Wow, that says a lot. So what makes it so special scientifically?
Well, Açaí berries are packed with antioxidants. These are the compounds that help protect our cells from damage caused by unstable molecules, free radicals. They also contain things called plant sterols, which can support healthy aging, heart health. And interestingly, Açaí has a vitamin C level, pretty similar to blueberries, plus essential minerals like potassium, magnesium. And just to give you an idea of the concentration in the product, one source mentioned that a single bottle of Rejuveniix contains the equivalent antioxidant capacity of about 2 wine-sized bottles of a leading acai juice.
Whoa, okay, that's pretty concentrated. So next up is Mangosteen. I feel like I've heard fancy nicknames for that one.
You probably have. It's highly revered, especially in Southeast Asia. Nicknames like Queen of Fruits, even Food of the
Food
Gods.
of the gods, okay.
Yeah.
What's its claim to fame?
It stands out because it's got a really high concentration of these unique plant compounds called xanthones.
Xanthones.
Yeah, they're particularly potent antioxidants. Think of them as kind of specialized defenders contributing to the fruit's protective power.
Got it. So another strong antioxidant player. Let's keep moving. Maqui berry. This one's from Patagonia, right? Way down south.
That's right. Maqui berries grow wild down there and have this long history of use by the Mapuche indigenous people.
For what specifically?
Traditionally, for medicinal properties.
Yeah.
There was even a belief it helped the body clear out toxins.
Interesting. And the science.
From a scientific view, maqui berries are off the charts in anthocyanins. These are the pigments that give blueberries and other dark berries their color.
Ah, okay.
And these anthocyanins are powerful antioxidants shown to be really effective against oxidative stress.
It's really cool how often the traditional use lines up with what we're finding now about antioxidants. Okay, the list goes on. Noni. I think I've seen that in health stores.
Noni is definitely distinct. It looks kind of strange and has a, shall we say, strong smell and taste.
Yeah, okay. Good to know.
But in Polynesian cultures, it has this incredibly long tradition, used for a whole range of things: menstrual cramps, liver health support, urinary tract issues.
Wow, quite versatile.
Yeah. And it provides nutrients like fiber, some protein, iron, vitamin C, calcium, zinc. Plus, recent research is backing up its antioxidant effects too.
Okay. Then there's sea buckthorn. That name makes me think of, like, coastlines.
It does, yeah, and has a really significant history across both Asia and Europe as a medicinal resource. People have valued it for a long time.
What's in it?
Sea buckthorn berries are seriously nutrient dense. We're talking antioxidant vitamins, those healthy fatty acids, the good fats your body needs, really high levels of vitamin C and E, essential minerals, amino acids, plus beneficial plant pigments like carotenoids and phenolics and phytosterols. It's quite the package.
It really sounds like a nutritional powerhouse. Okay, and rounding out the superfruit blend is goji berry, another one with a long history, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Goji berries, or wolfberries, have been used for centuries in traditional Chinese medicine. Their history stretches way back in China and parts of Europe.
And what are they known for?
Well, again, antioxidants are key, particularly carotenoids like beta-carotene and zeaxanthin.
Xanthan. I think I've heard that linked to eye health.
Exactly. Zeaxanthin is well known for playing a crucial role in supporting healthy vision, specifically by helping protect the retina.
Okay, so this superfruit blend in Rejuveniix is like a curated collection. Traditional use, modern antioxidant science. It's pretty comprehensive.
It seems designed that way, yeah.
But Rejuveniix isn't just superfruits. It also includes what the sources call natural energy enhancers. First up is L-theanine. I usually think calm when I hear that.
And that's a really key part of it. L-theanine is an amino acid you find naturally in green tea.
Okay.
What's super interesting is the research suggests it can promote a state of, well, relaxation and mental alertness, usually within about 30 to 40 minutes after you take it.
Relaxation and alertness, how does that work?
It influences your brain waves. Specifically, it seems to boost alpha brainwaves.
Alpha waves, that's like meditation, right?
Exactly. That same calm yet focused state you can get from meditation. That's what alpha waves are associated with.
So you get focused, calm, but you don't feel sleepy or zoned out.
Precisely. That's the crucial distinction. Unlike some things that might relax you by increasing theta waves, which are linked to drowsiness,
Right.
L-theanine helps you feel alert and focused, but without any sedation. Plus, it seems to have benefits for supporting the immune system, too.
Okay, that combination calm focus sounds really appealing. Now, Rejuveniix pairs L-theanine with green coffee bean extract. We all know coffee means caffeine, but what's different about the extract from green beans?
Right, so green coffee bean extract, or GCB, comes from coffee beans before they're roasted.
Ah, unroasted.
Yeah, and because they're unroasted, they keep a high concentration of antioxidants, actually similar levels to green tea or grapeseed extract.
Interesting.
And there's a thought it might help with the absorption of L-theanine, too, potentially boosting its effects.
Okay.
Plus, GCBE is rich in something called chlorogenic acid. This compound might help the liver process fatty acids more efficiently, which could be relevant for sustained energy levels.
And how does it compare to my regular cup of roasted coffee?
Well, the roasting process actually develops compounds like cafestol. These have sometimes been linked to the less desirable stimulant effects of coffee.
Oh, Ah,
So by using the unroasted green bean extract, the idea is to minimize those potentially negative compounds while still getting some natural caffeine and those beneficial chlorogenic acids.
okay, that makes sense. Avoiding some of the downsides of roasting. Moving on. Hawthorn berry. I often associate that with like heart health support.
You're right. It has a very long and quite interesting history in traditional medicine. It goes way back to the first century.
Oh.
Even ancient Celtic folklore mentioned it having healing properties, particularly for like emotional well-being of broken heart.
Really?
Yeah. And then by the 1800s, American doctors were using it for various heart-related complaints.
And what does modern research say?
Modern studies have backed up its antioxidant properties, and they suggest it can be beneficial for supporting healthy blood flow, good circulation, and potentially helping to maintain blood pressure already within the normal range.
So yeah, quite a strong historical and modern basis for cardiovascular support.
Okay, and the final enhancer listed is chamomile. Pretty much everyone knows chamomile for being calming, right?
Exactly. It's probably one of the most well-known calming herbs, valued for its soothing effects for ages.
What does the science say?
Studies do indicate it has anti-anxiety properties, and it might offer support if you're dealing with stress or having trouble sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
And traditionally, people also used it for things like digestive upset, easing muscle spasms, and even topically for skin irritation. So quite versatile, too.
Okay, so we've got this blend. Superfruits packed with antioxidants, then L-theanine for calm focus, green coffee bean for a gentle lift and other benefits, hawthorn for circulation, chamomile for calm.
Right. It's quite a mix.
And one of the really big claims for Rejuveniix is that it helps you avoid the jitters and that horrible crash you get from typical stimulants. How does this specific formula aim to do that?
Well, it seems the formulation is deliberately crafted for a more balanced, sustained kind of energy release.
Right. By combining the natural caffeine from the green coffee bean with the calming influence of L-theanine and then adding other soothing ingredients like chamomile, the goal is to give you a lift without those sharp spikes and then the sudden drops in energy.
The roller coaster effect.
Exactly. Avoiding that roller coaster you often get with high sugar drinks or things loaded with synthetic caffeine.
And our sources really hammered this point home. I saw quotes like sustained energy, more mental clarity, free radical scavengers, and real focus without a sudden crash.
Yeah. And another one highlighting no sugar, no carbs, no jitters, and no regrets.
No regrets. I like that one.
Definitely sums up the goal. Smoother, more even energy and focus, none of the usual downsides.
This balanced approach, it makes me think about athletes. Could Rejuveniix be like a healthier swap for those super sugary sports drinks they sometimes grab?
That's a really interesting point. And the sources suggest it could be a beneficial alternative, yeah?
What?
Well, for an athlete, getting sustained energy and focus without the risk of a crash that could kill their performance.
Yeah.
That's obviously valuable.
True.
But also think about the antioxidants. Intense exercise actually generates a lot of free radicals in the body.
Oh, right. Oxidative stress.
Exactly. So the high antioxidant content from that superfruit blend could potentially help neutralize those free radicals, which might support both performance and recovery afterwards.
That makes a ton of sense physiologically. Okay, now, whenever we talk about supplements, anything you take, quality, safety, those are huge concerns.
Always. Top of mind.
What did the sources indicate about Partner.co's approach here with Rejuveniix?
Well, it's mentioned that Partner.co products are NSF certified.
NSF, what does that actually mean?
It's a pretty big deal, actually. It's a rigorous third-party certification. It involves things like comprehensive product testing, detailed material analysis to make sure what's on the label is in the bottle and that there aren't contaminants. They do unannounced inspections of the manufacturing plants. And there's an annual requalification process. So it's ongoing verification.
So it's not just a one-time thing?
No, definitely not. That NSF mark really indicates a serious commitment to quality control and safety throughout the whole process. And there was also mention of a 100% potency guarantee.
Right, ensuring you get what you pay for.
Basically, yeah. It underscores their confidence in the product meeting its label claims.
That independent check and the guarantee definitely add a layer of trust. We also saw a couple of common questions pop up in one source. Anything stand out there?
Yeah, a couple are worth touching on briefly. One was about whether Rejuveniix could help someone trying to cut back on, say, energy drinks.
Like an addiction or dependence?
Sort of, yeah. The answer suggested that because it uses natural caffeine combined with those relaxing nutrients like L-theanine, it might offer a gentler way to step down from more intense stimulants, kind of weaning off.
Okay. And the other question...
was about whether Rejuveniix itself is addictive.
Good question.
And the source indicated that while people might definitely appreciate how it makes them feel, the balanced formula is designed specifically to avoid that peak and crash cycle that's often associated with addictive substances. So less likely to create that dependency.
Okay, good to clarify. So let's try and wrap this all up. Our deep dive into Rejuveniix from partner.co seems to show a product really focused on providing natural energy, better mental focus.
Right.
Using this carefully chosen blend of superfruits loaded with antioxidants and these natural enhancers.
And the key theme seems to be synergy, the idea that the combination is better than the sum of its parts, and doing it all while trying to dodge those negative side effects like jitters and crashes from typical stimulants.
Exactly. We've touched on the unique benefits of each ingredient, from the antioxidants backed by both tradition and science in the superfruits,
to the more targeted effects of things like L-theanine on brainwaves for that calm focus. It really looks like the underlying principle is balance, providing energy and clarity, but in a more maybe holistic or gentler way.
Right. So for you listening, as you're maybe navigating this, often confusing landscape of energy boosters and focus aids, here's something to think about. Could a product like Rejuveniix, with its emphasis on natural synergistic ingredients, plus that commitment to quality testing, could that offer a more sustainable, maybe more balanced path for you to feel energized and sharp day to day?
It's definitely a different approach than just chugging caffeine and sugar.
Yeah. Perhaps digging a bit deeper into the traditional uses we talked about or the ongoing research around these fascinating ingredients, maybe that could give you some valuable insights for your own path to feeling your best, something to mull over.